Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farhany Izzaty binti HADI and my matrix number is DD190010. So, first of all, let me brief more about my title. So, for your information, there is a bit change of my title, because before this, my title is characteristic of marine concrete for bridge application, but somehow after few discussion with my supervisor, Dr. Noradila binti Abdul Latif, we changed it to characteristic of concrete for bridge application. So the panel is Dr. Fatimah binti Matno, and the second panel is IR Dr. Jamaluddin bin Ja'far. Okay, so for the production, so we all know that concrete is one of the most versatile and widely used building materials on Earth. It is strong, durable, low maintenance, fireproof, and easy to use, and can be customized to any size or shape. However, currently technology is still a growing field, and research is still needed to improve the durability and sustainability of this material. And this is very important to understand the relationship between the microstructure and properties in terms of their influence of the strength, dimensional stability, and durability of concrete. And the factors affecting the deterioration of reinforced concrete are based on physical and chemical factor. So physical aging or deterioration is caused by freeze-thaw loads, uneven volume changes, temperature gradients, abrasion, erosion, and cavitation. So while the chemically factors is induced deterioration consists of carbonation, corrosion of rebar, sulfate, and acid attack or alkaline aggregate reaction. So the maximum service life of a structure depend on the environment in which concrete is located. So for the next one, we'll go for problem statement. So the first one is all the research regarding the concrete and the other type of material has been made to determine its physical and mechanical properties. And then the second one is none of the research study the actual characteristic and properties of concrete alone without the existence of other material and composite. And the third one is by the research gap, there is a lack of advanced study to determine the mechanical and physical properties concrete. With this, it will help to produce a reliable data for engineers to refer for their future works or project, especially for bridge application. So objective, there are two objectives. So the first one is to study the physical properties and microstructure of existing grades of concrete. So for the grades, my study will be based on grade 30 and grade 40. And the second objective is to determine the mechanical behavior by hardness and compression strength of existing grades of concrete. So we will go for scope of study. So there will be a total of 6 scopes for the study. So the first one is types of concrete. The cube test concrete will be supplied by MMC Engineering Sendiri and Berhad, such as different grades of grade 30 and grade 40 with 7 and 28 of curing days. So the second one is the X-ray fluorescence XRF test will be used to characterize the element composition for each grade of concrete. The third one would be the compacted concrete powder samples will be prepared and then sintered in a muffle furnace at 1000 degrees Celsius. The fourth scope is sample of concrete will be prepared for physical testing to determine the water absorption, porosity, and density. The fifth scope is mechanical behavior of concrete will be investigated through the hardness and compression test. The last scope is the optical microscope and scanning electron microscope microscope will be used to observe the microstructure of concrete. So we will go for literature review for the next slide. So this is my literature review. So for literature review, I've been using and read a lot of journal regarding the concrete, its type on and also its composition. So for this table, I've been categorized into different types of concrete with different authors. So for the first one is ordinary concrete by Olga, and the second one is high performance concrete by Shana Gonda, and the third one is steel fiber reinforced concrete by Jingwei, and the last one is lightweight concrete preformed foam concrete by Mesh Kumar. So as you can see, this table is actually one of my way to compare their outcome with my outcome, so it will be easier. And based on the mechanical properties and physical properties stated, we can see that only compression test has been tested for most studies. So for ordinary concrete, it can be seen that 43.5 megapascal for ordinary concrete, and you can see that there is none for physical properties testing for water absorption, porosity, density. And for high performance concrete, it can be seen that only compression test has been tested for the study, while there is none for physical testing. And for steel fiber reinforced concrete, it can be seen that compression test has been tested as well, but none with physical testing. And the last one is Mesh Kumar. It can be seen that compression test has been tested with a density test as well. So only Mesh Kumar have been studied for mechanical physical properties, but it can be seen that there is none of the tests provide all of mechanical and physical tests for mechanical hardness and compression. For physical, water absorption, porosity, density, there is none of the studies complete to study the characteristic of the concrete. So yeah, it can be seen as well that there is none of other authors that been used to study the concrete only. It's always the concrete will be mixed with different kind of material or different kind of composition. Yeah, so that is for literature review, and we will go for flowchart. So this is my flowchart of my journey that will be to reach the objective. So for the first one is we will start with the preparation of the sample. So the first one will be the crushing process. So the crushing process is using ball mill, and after we crush the concrete, we will go for sieving process. So sieving process is used to sieve the concrete, and the outcome will be a fine aggregates concrete. And then we will go for pressing process. So the next one is sintering process, and then mounting process, and then grind and polishing process. So after all of the step has been successfully made, we can go for the testing. So the first one, we will go for the physical test first, and then we will go for mechanical test first. So for physical test, there will be an water absorption test, porosity test, and also density test. And the mechanical test, we will be doing a compression and hardness test. So if all of the tests has been successfully made, and there is the outcome, and we will observe, discuss, and then yeah, we will come to the conclusion. So that is my flowchart for my overall studies, and this is actually one of the sample uh, of of my seniors that made similar kind of study with me. So this is actually the sample, but mine will be different because I'll be doing with concrete, and this one is aluminium something. So yeah, so this is the sample. So the sample will go through the physical test and mechanical test. So for the sample size, the diameter will be 1.2 centimeter, and there will be two different height with 1 and 3 centimeter of height. And actually there will be a total of 16 samples that will be produced for to go through the mechanical and physical test. So yeah, so I think that's all. Thank you from me.